Hello, I am here. I am here. I got my sweatpants on. Oh well, you guys, we're at the house. It's been raining all day here in Memphis. So I decided to come on here a little early. If you can hear me, if you can see me, you guys, give me the thumbs up. Let me know. All is well. Audio is working. Visual is working. Everything is working. If you can see me and hear me. I got like 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes. Come on in. 2 minutes. I'm here a little early, making sure everything is everything, right? Feel free to come on in. I just finished doing my letters for the day. If you are here, come on in. Come on in. I'm here a little early. I try to get on here just a few minutes early. Just to make sure everything is everything. So, good. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thumbs up. Here, see, everything is working clearly. We got 1 more minute. We'll let people come in. I was finishing up this newsletter that's about to go out tomorrow. If you have not subscribed to my newsletter, look, I only send it out like twice a month because I'm not trying to like harass you. I send it out twice a month. You can subscribe. It's in the description below. The Property Pulse newsletter. So I've got one going out in the morning with some news, of course, with the veteran news, the veteran foreclosure extension news. Of course, I had to put that in there, right? Just because I'm, like I said, the more we go, the further we go on with the year, more I'm sure assistants will try to pop up and help people in extensions and all of that. I talked to one of my foreclosures attorney, the Property Pulse. That is my newsletter. Yeah, it should be down below in the description. Just subscribe to it. I send out a newsletter twice a month. And I also send out like replays so you can get the replay. But it's free. Don't worry, I don't harass you about anything, Just a little update on distressed market foreclosures. I give like auctioneer tips. I think in this newsletter I'm putting like the top land auction websites. I always offer like a little bit of information. The Property Pulse newsletter down below. Sign up. I'm sending out a newsletter in the morning. Okay, it is 8:01. Get started. You guys, I have been going live since Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today is Monday, 4 days in a row. We are rolling with this. I think y'all like it. I think you enjoy it. I hope you bring your questions and your comments and your concerns. If you can, of course, you guys, I want to know where you're from. That's the only time I really make you type in the box. Just tell me where you're from because I enjoy seeing where you are from. We will jump in here. Just tell me where you're from. That's all. So I can see. I always get like South Carolina, North Carolina, California, Atlanta, Texas, New York, everywhere. So I enjoy that. So let me jump in. Introduction, Atlanta. I always get Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all are always off the chain. If you follow me on Instagram or any other place, I posted a reel the other day, and it was like me saying how everybody says there's no foreclosures, and I already see the schedule for January. And the list I posted was all Georgia auctions, starting on January 2nd. Y'all got a huge auction coming up on January 2nd and February 6th. Because I think y'all's auctions are the first Thursday, first Tuesday of the month. One of them. I can't, in Atlanta. So just know January 2nd and February 6th, y'all got a lot of properties going up for auction in Atlanta. California, I see you. Good. West Coast. I'm from a respectable. Thank you for telling me where you're from. Oh, and happy birthday to your dad. Look at that. Yes, happy birthday. He's not a Sagittarius. No, look, I'm like, he's not a Sagittarius like us. Is that Sagittarius season? Y'all know. Detroit, I see you. Is that Sagittarius? Yeah, isn't it? At the end of November? I don't know. I'm a December Sagittarius, so I don't know about the Novembers. But Detroit, y'all have been in the news about that big investor who came down there and bought up like 200 properties at the auction. Some out of town investor brought up a ton of properties. I saw that. Well, I heard about that. Um, yeah, January 2nd, Tuesday. So it's the first Tuesday of the month in Georgia where y'all have those big auctions. So January 2nd and February 6th. Y'all already got a ton of properties scheduled. But anyway, you guys, I'm Ashley Pickens. I am here in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been in real estate since 2006 as a real estate agent, also as a real estate broker, and I am an auctioneer, right? Like that is what most people know me for. That is where most of you found me. I'm an auctioneer. I auction off foreclosures at the courthouse. I'm literally on the courthouse steps. If anybody asks, I know it's so many myths and things floating around about auctions. I'm literally on the courthouse steps, right? Literally. Unless I'm like at the conference room calling a postponement or something like that. But courthouse steps, legit. That is true. So that's how I started this channel. That's how most people found me, just sharing information about auctions and how to find properties and how to bid at the auction. And, just sharing everything that I know, because I know so many people don't know, right? So I've been on here since Friday. Let me throw out my three movie recommendations. Y'all already know this if you've been on here. 3 movies that I think you should watch. I might need to start doing like book recommendations. Like I have like a whole book, like tons, like for real. Book recommendations, real estate movie recommendations. Of course, The Big Short. Everybody knows The Big Short. That's a good one. 99 Homes. That's another one. But everybody knows what I already say. They curse a whole lot in that movie. They use profanity. So don't watch it around your kids. I mean, unless you use profanity like that around your kids. I don't do that. Right? So lots of profanity. And then The Inside Job. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. The Inside Job is a documentary. Big Short, 99 Homes, movies. Okay? Check those out if you want to see more about the crash that happened in 2008. Like, that's just so interesting to me. But anyway, so let me start off by saying the veteran extension, foreclosure extension, right? Now it's finally picking up steam. I feel like people are hearing that they have paused foreclosures on veterans. But you guys, of course, I don't believe the number that they said of the amount of veterans that were behind. And every article that I read is a completely different number, right? Every article that comes out is a different number on how many veterans are behind. Yesterday's article was 147,000 veterans that are behind on their mortgage. There's an article out today that says 6,000 VA homeowners are in the foreclosure process and another 34,000 are delinquent. So what is that? 40,000 total? I don't believe that. Y'all know I don't believe any. I don't believe the 147,000 delinquent veterans that are in foreclosure. You guys, I looked at the numbers. I pulled the numbers. 2020, there were 1.2 million VA loans. 2021, I think it was like 1.4 million VA loans. And you want to tell me that only 40,000 people are behind on their mortgage? Come on. Like, 40,000 is not even enough to make them enact like a moratorium, right? Like, they know that number is like probably like 500,000, if not more, people behind on their mortgage, veterans behind on their mortgage. South Carolina, I see you. Welcome, South Carolina. But but they said that VA and FHA loans are the most delinquent right now. Definitely the most delinquent. So, another thing, right? So, I gotta tell y'all this. It's so funny. I share everything with y'all. Y'all just look at me. Y'all just can't repeat stuff that I tell you. Like, y'all not gonna repeat stuff that I tell you. But So, of course, I had to text the article to my girl that's foreclosure attorney. I love her to death. She's been in foreclosures forever, like 20 years, right? Older lady, been doing foreclosures 20 plus years. Remembers the last crash, worked that whole foreclosure, everything. Foreclosure attorney, okay? So of course I send her the article. We talk all the time, you know, she's like, um, you know, she's very opinionated. I love her to death. Like I love her to death. Um, but you know, she's the one who's like, we haven't foreclosed in 3 years, Ashley. You know, these people are just, you know, sitting ducks waiting. You know, she deals with Wells Fargo. She deals with um Bank of America, all these big banks. Like I told y'all in maybe a couple of months ago, I said my foreclosure attorney said that HUD called her. HUD called her. Yeah, I was trying to make sure it was HUD. HUD called her and was like, get ready. How many files can y'all handle? Right? I explained this. Like foreclosure attorneys, they all work with different banks. And, you know, Wells Fargo will give so many files to each attorney, basically. Okay. So HUD called her and was like, how many files can you handle? You know, we getting ready to gear up, basically. So I text her the story on the VA that the veterans, you know, had the extension on foreclosures. And so, of course, she's like, I'm pulling up the text messages right now. So I texted to her and she's like, okay, I'm already on it, checking the VA portal right now to make sure this is real information. Because if they stop veteran foreclosure, she's got to stop all those files. They can't foreclose on veterans, right? So she said, I'm checking the VA portal to make sure this is real information. And I said, I said, this is kicking the can, just another way to kick the can. Do anybody have a list of mom and pop title companies across the nation? I'm sure I could probably find, you know what I mean, like title company or escrow companies, or you just got to make friends. Like if you've closed on a property before, see, I love my title company. Like we're great friends, but it's just because we've done deals together. You know what I mean? Like I close at like restaurants. I don't even go in the office and close anymore. But you just got to establish that. They have they have online title companies, but are they legit? I don't know. Like maybe you can test them out, and if you've got somebody who can look at title and you can compare if the two reports are the same, and then you can end up going with, because they have like online title reports that you can order. I can't vouch for them, is all I'm saying. I can't vouch for them, but they do have them. You know what I mean? So, okay, so listen, you guys, the text message. So I told her, I was like, it just seems like they're kicking the can. I said, it's going to be a mess when all of this starts falling down, right? And I said, because eventually I said, we're going to have banks start collapsing, right? So then she says, so, okay, keep in mind, like she's an older lady, very opinionated, very right-winged, okay? So, but I have to filter, but just know that, okay? So, I said, banks are going to start collapsing. And she said, they are already closing. Get your money out of the bank. And then she says, I've heard Pinnacle is failing, right? She said, I used to do their foreclosures, but they're selling off their loans to private investors right now. So, you know, I went to Pinnacle and like looked, and their stock is down. She was like, she said, yeah, watch Pinnacle. And so then, and then she said, of course, Citizens Bank is going to make that announcement soon. I know one of the Citizens failed, but it wasn't like the big Citizens. They failed November 3rd. Like they're on the list that Citizens, but it's not the Citizens Bank, right? The Citizens Bank is a huge bank. But, so her text message is like, and I think Citizens Bank Group is going to make an announcement too. Check the bank's derivatives. This is loans that are owed and not being paid. These are the ones that are in trouble right now. So I'm like, but Pinnacle's bank is. So you heard it here first. If Pinnacle go under, y'all be like, Ashley said it first, right? And then let me continue our text message. Look, the tea was hot today. The tea was hot. And she's like, it's like they're doing this on purpose to see everybody fail. And then she's like, I've been buying silver and gold for a year now, buying a little bit at a time, you know, because she has been saying she is one of those silver, and I hear people talk about buying silver and gold and stuff like that. So she has, like, she's been talking about that for years, literally, about buying gold. Do y'all buy gold and stuff? Like, I buy houses. Like, I'm just familiar with real estate, but I know people do buy, you know what I mean, the fine metals and stuff like that. So, then she kind of threw, but I don't know, I don't know. But she kind of mentioned that my boy Jamie, Uncle Jamie at JP Morgan might be in a little trouble too. She mentioned that. And I said, JP? I was like, not Jamie, not the biggest of the big, right? I said, they're the biggest one. And she was like, they say nothing on the news, about JP Morgan, right? But that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying as far as the conversation goes. So we will just see, right? But we know, like, because Jamie was cashing out those stock, right? But at the same time, they're not going to let JP Morgan fail, right? They're going to get bailed out regardless. Regardless, they will get bailed out. But y'all, banks are in trouble. They are absolutely in trouble. I think that we are just trying to save face right now, maybe make it through this fourth quarter. And then when they show earnings, and then when they talk about unemployment, and they talk about all these other factors, then it's like, okay, we are in trouble. Like when 2024 hits, then it's like, okay, maybe we are in trouble. Maybe we have been sugarcoating all this for the last, who knows how long. But they can't announce it right now, right? And you sure can announce that banks are having trouble, right? Because that's what happens with Silicon Valley, baby. If they start thinking stuff is getting shaky, they're going to start pulling money out of the bank, right? And that is not what we want, right? And I think, like, you just got to be, I'm sure that's why the news, the media, everybody, you have to be very careful about the things that they talk about on the news. Because people when Silicon Valley collapsed, I was over here like, hold on. We were all like, banks collapsing again. Like, not my $2 in the bank. Not my $2, right? Yep, it'll cause a bank run, right? And it's like, I think when you're a kid, right, we all think, like, okay, this is going to show my age, right? But we all think like DuckTales, right? Like Scrooge, like you go in the bank and they got like this big vault with money, like in the back, and it's like money and stuff all around. Y'all, that's not how it is in the bank, right? You're thinking like it's, a bathroom, a break room, and then a room full of money, right? That's not how it is at the bank anymore, right? I saw a meeting, I think with the FDIC, like 6 months ago over the summer. Somebody leaked some footage from an FDIC meeting, and they said, like, if 1% of people went to the bank and tried to take their money out, they wouldn't have it. 1% of people, like, they don't have our money sitting, like, they keep a certain amount of cash on hand, right, for people who come and make deposits, but they don't have like our money sitting in the bank. They take our money and invest it, and they also like have to keep it or keep it in a reserve, and they earn interest on the money, or they invest it. That's how like people lost their savings, back like in 1930? What was that? The Great like, because the banks lost their money. Remember, like, people, and there was a run on the bank. So, because now they just take your money and they invest it and stuff. That's how people lost their savings and their pension back in the day, they used to have regulations, right? You guys get this. They used to have regulations that the bank had to keep so much money on reserve in the bank. But they erased that. They took that away because they have other measures in place now. You know, they always getting rid of regulations to fit their best interest, right? Right. Hold on, let me read. Yeah, the Great Depression, right? And so, but see, now in 2023, a run on the bank is completely different, right? You just transfer some money out in like 30, like I'm transferring money as I'm walking in the grocery store, right? You know what I mean? Like you can move money quickly here, right? You don't have to go to the bank, pull it out, do all that. So I think that's another reason why the news and banks have to be real careful about what they say. And that's also how you would like banks will lie, right? You just lie about their numbers, right? You just, yeah, stocks are fine. Everything's fine. Our stock is up. Numbers haven't never been better, right? And then meanwhile, they're over here like, cash out all my stock, cash them all out, right? But tell Bloomberg everything is fine, right? That's, Aiden, how are you in California? Did you? Yeah, great. Yeah. I'm catching up on your everything. Price. How can I skip trace for free? I know that. Look. It's gonna be hard to do some stuff for free, but prop wire is not an expensive. Look, you got me all off my other topic, but I try to answer your question. Prop wire skip tracing is not like super expensive though. You know what I mean? Like you can skip trace. One of my mentees skip traces on prop wire, and I think she got like 200 numbers for like, no, you good, I'm just kidding. 200 numbers for like maybe $20. Maybe I feel like she got is what she told me. So it's not like incredibly expensive. I mean, you're gonna go out to eat and spend more than that. You know what I mean? Just chalk it up as I spend more than this when I go out to eat. And just do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know any free skip tracing. I haven't really dug deep into that either, though. I skip trace, right? I do. But I don't know. Like some of them can be really expensive. But I feel like prop wire, theirs is not on the more expensive end, right? They can be pricey. Let me check. How do I know the starting bid going to a foreclosure auction in East Tennessee and the company is out of Memphis? Yeah, Ruben Lubin, I auctioned for him. It's scary, but the house is next door. Yeah, I actually auctioned for Ruben. How do I know the starting? So usually the starting bid, thank you. Let's get back on the topic. While y'all are really here, like I can talk about real estate news all day, every day. But opening bids, it depends. Because usually they are out 24 to 48 hours before the auction. But some of the properties, if it's vacant, if it's been in foreclosure for a long time, they'll already have that opening bid like a week before. But if not, give it 24, 48 hours, then the opening bid will come out. Usually. Ruben posts them. Go to his site, and he posts opening bids. He does post opening bids. Or Ruben will post who he's auctioning through. If it's auction.com, if it's Williams & Williams, Xome, Xome, it'll say see auction.com. And then you click on that and see if they got an opening bid. If not, try the day before, try 2 days before. But that's usually how it goes. 24, 48 hours, opening bid will come out. Yes, Aiden, that's what I'm talking about. Aiden, I'm telling you guys, it is coming. Now when, how long, what they're going to try to put in place, because it's like, it's like, when I think of like an analogy, it's like the pipe is bursting. Like the pipe is bursting at the seams, but we keep trying to put like Band-Aids on this pipe that is, we just keep trying, right? But eventually, like all things, they all fall down, right? We just don't know. And that's where everybody's like, we're expecting a soft landing. We have never in our history had a soft landing. Never in our history. I'm not even sure who came up with the term soft landing. But, you know, because we're still not even announcing that we're in a recession, right? Because we change the definition so it can fit our narrative, right? So we're not in a recession, right? Even though we're definitely, by the definition of a recession, we've definitely been in one. You're welcome. You are welcome. Yes, Aiden, you got this in California. Aiden, that lady actually emailed me from the tax sale. I need to send you the address because she wanted me to do a title search and everything for her and consulting. So maybe you can help her. I'll connect you to. But yeah, and if you have any other auction questions, ask me. Opening bids, 24, 48 hours. What else? You know, you got to have the, depending on where you auction, where you're bidding. At the courthouse, you have to have the complete amount in certified funds, right? Now, maybe depending on the platform, they might give you 24 hours. I think tax sales, they give you a day or so to wire the money. But most auction platforms want that entire amount as soon as the auction is over. You make those cashier's checks payable to yourself, right? Your cashier's check is payable to yourself. So if you don't win the property, you can just deposit it right back in your bank account. If you do win the property, all you do, turn it over, endorse the back, whoever the trustee is, and then you can give them that check. Make the cashier's checks payable to yourself. That is a question that people ask all the time, okay? Also, cash, like, how do you buy cashier's checks? A lot of people ask that. Increments is what is the most common way to buy cashier's checks. Like, I did a video, so I've got a couple of little pieces of material left. Like, what are people called who can bid for me at a live auction? I don't know what kind of name you want to give them. Just your representative. You know what I mean? On my registration sheet, it will say bidder name. I was trying to see if I have one. I don't. It'll say bidder name and then like vesting name. So if somebody is bidding on your behalf, they can write bidder name. And then the vesting name, the vesting is what goes on the deed, right? So it'll be your name or your LLC name that's going on the deed. So just make sure all of that is correct. If somebody's bidding for you, make sure they have all your information correct. Your address, your phone number, because deeds come in the mail. Don't forget that. Deeds and refunds come in the mail. So if you pay over, nobody has change, right? I don't have change for $100,000. Deeds and refunds come in the mail. That's why people get increments, right? I could have a $100,000 cashier check, or I could have 4 $25,000 cashier's checks. You collecting, that's what I'm talking about. Collecting deeds all 2024. I'm with you. I'm with it. Selling the courthouse, that was the next question. Previous owner is deceased. Okay, so it should be, unless there's any heirs, you know, contesting it or trying to get ownership of that property. But if it's up for auction and you got an opening bid, you should be good, right? You gotta look at that title. You gotta look at the title just to make sure, right? But I don't know if there's going to be some heirs who try to, or how long it's been vacant, right? If the person's been dead 10 years or something, you know, take a peek at the title. But yes, a little off time, but whose pocket does the overage finish? So I talked about this. I saw an article come out like 2 months ago, right? It was in New York. 2 months ago, an article came out that like some homeowners sued. Did they sue like the city? Anyway, her property went up for foreclosure, went up for auction, and then the attorney kept the excess. So example, the opening bid is the loan amount that's still due, right? When they foreclose, your loan amount was $180,000. So that's usually the opening bid, right? Whatever that is. So if the opening bid is $180,000 and it gets bid up to, let's say, $200,000, the homeowner, they were keeping that $20,000 difference, right? And somebody, which is crazy, right? So literally like 2 months ago, it was a lawsuit, and they were like, hey, the homeowner should get that excess money, right? Which they should, right? But y'all know, they were going to come up with some fees, some all kinds of stuff to eat up the excess. But hopefully, you know, they give that excess money to the homeowners. But, you know, you never know. They might try to find a way to keep it. But that's another thing. Like, people who lose their home in foreclosure, I would try to find out how much it sold for, how much my house sold for, and I'd be trying to go collect my coins, if possible, right? But I heard, like, there's some other kind of, like, auctions. One of my mentees in Detroit, he was saying that they have, like, tax excess auctions where you can bid on the excess money. I don't know. It was some, I'm not familiar with that, right? But you could bid on the excess money. I don't know. I don't even want to go down that lane because I don't know. But something. But the homeowner should pocket it, but you know, that probably doesn't happen as often. Sell the courthouse, that was the next question. Yeah. So yeah, cashier's checks made out to yourself, made payable to yourself, get them in increments. If you're only bidding on one property, then maybe you could bring one cashier's check. But most people have increments, honestly, because you don't know. You might get lucky and you might just get it for like $1 over. And then you don't want to give, like, if the winning bid is like $60,000 and you got a $100,000 cashier check, you got to wait on $40,000 to come in the mail. You know what I mean? So, I know, but I get buying increments can be kind of expensive, maybe. But that's how most people do. They buy increments, make them payable to yourself. Deeds and refunds come in the mail. People can bid on your behalf. For sure. Just make sure they have all of your information and make sure that information is correct. I would be like, take a picture, send it to me. I usually, like, people take a picture of the receipt that I do so they have it for their records with the trustee sale number on it so they can keep track of it. There are companies that reach out to homeowners and charge them it's so many different avenues of, and then charge them to, you know, everybody down here trying to, you know, get their coins, I guess. But it's so many different real estate strategies. But I've heard of people, he said they bid on the excess money. I don't know how that works. But maybe that's what it is. Charge people to help recover. Like, I heard somebody was saying that they, like, with tax sales, with that redemption period, like, people will go find the homeowners and let them know that their property, like, sold and help them get it back during the redemption period, right? I don't know. It's so many different methods that people use that involve real estate. That's all I can say. There's different methods. What else? I was trying to think of everything I want to tell y'all about auctions that everybody usually asks me. But the cashier's check is the most common. Make it payable to yourself because most people do not know. What else? Did I miss anything else? Y'all know title search and drive-by. Title search. I know you're going to the auction. You're going to the auction, Jeremy. Drive by that property. Drive by it before you bid. Make sure that property is still there. See if people live in it. Is it vacant? Is it occupied? Are the utilities on? Are the utilities off? You know, see what you can see, right? Because again, if you buy a property that people still live in, you are responsible for evicting them, right? So always keep that. You've got to do your due diligence when it comes to buying. Also, past due taxes are not included in that bid. If you win the property, so check the taxes before you bid because that is not included. That makes sense? And I didn't know that about, yeah, make it payable to yourself. Yeah, and taxes are not included. Absolutely not. So once you get it, you can pay those taxes, or you can wait until you get the deed and then pay those taxes to make sure nobody comes back and redeems it You done paid their taxes. You know what I mean? Somebody asked last night, if you were here last night, somebody asked if when a property goes up for auction and sells, is it reported basically, like, can you see that on Zillow, right? Or does that count? I think their question was, does it count in the comps, like the average comps, right? Does that show up how much properties sell at the auction? So I did a little research today, and that auction price showed up on a couple, like I went to Zillow, and once I guess the people file, so keep in mind the deed, you have to file the deed yourself. Jeremy, when the deed comes, you have to go downtown or go to the county office and file the deed yourself. So I guess depending on what platform, Zillow or Realtor, once they, I don't know, I think Zillow says they pull from the MLSs and the county records every 5 minutes. It might pull that deed once you file it. Keep in mind, they don't know any property, what it's sold for, until you file that deed with the county. Keep that in mind. You got to file the deed yourself and file it so you can show ownership. Your name can be on the title, you know, solidified, so you can be legit, right? So it did show up. I did see that the auction sale did show up once they filed that deed, depending. Like I looked at a couple of them and I saw that they did show the sale price at the auction. And it's probably once they filed the deed, basically. What else? Due diligence, title. Were we talking about, what was I supposed to talk about? Title tonight? Or we're talking about how to, lead with love if you buy a property and you got people still living in it, right? People are always like, how do you evict people who live in the houses, right? So first of all, you can hope and pray that first you should know whether or not somebody lives in the house, right? Because you did your due diligence, you drove by in the daytime, you drove by in the nighttime, you know, because like I said, it might be quiet in the daytime and then it might be the trap house at nighttime, right? So you need to see what you're dealing with, okay? But most method, I tell all my mentees, like, lead with love, okay? Lead with love. Send them a letter. Introduce yourself. Let them know, you know, say it nicely that you purchased their house and you're willing to work with them the best way you know possible, right? To make arrangements for them to move out, you know, that kind of stuff, right? Title. I'm supposed to be talking about title. Okay, I'm talking about that too. I'll talk about all of it, right? If you win a home at auction, can you get insurance on the home if someone is living in it just in case they burn? See, I mean, you should be able to, right? If you have the deed to a house, you can get insurance on it, I feel like, right? Like, I mean, if it's your house, can you get title insurance on it? If you have the deed and you file the deed, I'm going to say yes, right? Get insurance. You're right, because that is a very, I don't know what I'm going to say. That could happen. You know what I'm saying? They could destroy it, right? Like, that is a very possible thing that could happen. They get mad and tear their house up. That's why I'm always like, lead with love. Don't go over there like, I just bought your house and get out. Like, because they are on the inside, right? I guess you get renter's insurance. I feel like try and see. I wonder if my investors get insurance. I know they do get insurance on the properties once they buy them, but I feel like they do get insurance, like title insurance, especially if you got the deed, right? You guys, like, you got ownership of that house. I'm sure there's gonna be some insurance people that will insure you. Just show them the deed, let them know, you know. What was I gonna say? Y'all threw me off. From someone living in it. Do you also come across sheriff auction sales? Hey, you be wanting me to I do trustee sales, right? So that's my whole thing. That's all I do is trustee sales. So I don't know. Like, I don't like come across. Like, I get a schedule, you guys. Like, I get a schedule. And they be like, Ashley, this is your schedule for the next month. Or this is your schedule for the week. Boom. Right? So, I saw on bidforassets.com. Bid, B-I-D, the number 4, assets, assets.com. They had a little line there that had like sheriff sales, right? That you could click on. Like they had a, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Just a little tab that said sheriff sales. They do tax sales and they had sheriff sales. Look on bidforassets.com and see if you can find some more information about sheriff sales. Because that's all I can give you, Aiden. I do trustee sales, right? What was, y'all threw me off. Yes, you got to lead with love because people can be in the house, right? Send them a letter, say it nicely. Then if that doesn't work, then, you know, maybe send another letter that's a little bit more urgent. You know, like, I'm really trying to work with you. You say it in the way that works for you. And I'm trying not to, you know, we're trying to keep this out of court. Well, I don't know if you want to say that yet. You might have to offer cash for keys. Because I feel like court is such a negative, like, that's like your last, when you throw that out, you got to be ready for an attitude, right? But then, you know, people offer cash for keys. Like, I can help you. Y'all know what cash for keys is. Like, you make an agreement with them. You have a little contract with them. You get them to sign a contract, right? If you are in my auction accelerator course, I have a cash for keys contract in there. I actually have letters in there that you can send. But, you know, y'all know you do not give them any cash until they are out of that house, right? Y'all know that. But then you have that cash for keys option. People like, how much money do you usually give for cash for keys? Y'all, that depends. Like, I've heard of people giving up $5,000. I've heard of people giving up $500. You know, it just kind of depends, right? Like, how bad you want them out of your house. How soon you trying to get in your house? How motivated do you think they are? Right? Because again, they are in your house. And you do not want them to set the place on fire. You don't want them to set it off in your house. Right? So, you know, you could offer them like, hey, I can help you move. You can, you know what I mean? Lead with love. And then, you know, the last final extent is kind of like, I'm reaching out one more time in hopes of not having to go to court, you know what I mean? And then, but sometimes that court will trigger them to be like, okay, oh shoot, you know, serve them with some court papers or show that, you know what I mean? Sometimes court will be like, okay, I don't want to do that. Let me move out of this house. But try, you know, scale and hopefully you don't end up in eviction court. You know what I mean? But that's possible when you have people living in your house at the auction. So, y'all want to talk about title a little bit? What to look for on title, and I'll give you a little brief. I mean, that is the most, I say this every live. Title is the biggest stop sign, the biggest speed bump, the biggest pothole that keep people from going to an auction. Title, right? That is the scary part. So, I guess I need to take you back to, we can talk about title. So, do we need to go all the way back to like first mortgages and second mortgages and don't buy the second mortgage? Y'all want me to kind of talk about that first? Do y'all understand the mortgages that you do buy and that you don't buy? Do y'all understand that part? And then there are some liens that might survive foreclosures, right? If you buy a property and it's got an IRS lien on it, IRS lien, yeah, go all the way back to that. I got you. I'll give you a brief rundown on first mortgages and second mortgages. I got y'all. IRS liens. Like, a lot of people are turned off if they see an IRS lien, but most IRS liens fall off in 120 days. The IRS has 120 days to come redeem it. If they don't, it usually falls off in 120 days. So a lot of people say don't let IRS liens scare you, but IRS, they do fall off in 120 days. So I'm looking around to see if I have some props. Look, I'm always trying to find a prop to tell a story with, right? We just got to use hand motions, okay? So first of all, understand there are different types of liens, okay? First liens and second liens. First liens, I'm trying to get my teaching helmet on so I can explain this to you. My teaching helmet on so I can explain this to you. First of all, on title, liens, loans come in different, what's the word I'm looking for? Have different priority is what I'm saying. So, for example, your first liens, there's three main type of first liens. These are what you buy at the auction, okay? You only buy first liens at the auction. So examples of a first lien is, I've said this, when you buy a house, and that's when you go get that pre-approval letter and it's for $300,000, you find a house and that is your mortgage. You find a house for $300,000. Now you have that first mortgage, $300,000. It's the one you take a picture for and you say just sold, you know, you got the keys, all that kind of stuff. It's usually the biggest loan, right, on title, that primary mortgage. Okay, so let's just say you got a house for $300,000. That's in first lien position, baby. That is, if you don't pay them, they come in to get your house. Okay, first position. Another lien in first position could be HOA. Okay, HOA liens are first position. They on this top row. Primary mortgage, we're gonna call that like your just closed, got the keys, your first mortgage. HOA is on this line too. They hold the same weight, is what I'm saying. First mortgages hold the same weight. So, first mortgage, HOA, homeowners association. They can foreclose on you and take your house, okay? Primary mortgage, don't pay it, they'll foreclose on you and take your house. Then we have taxes, property taxes. Don't pay your property taxes. They can come get you, foreclose on you, and take your house, okay? Those are your three main first position liens. If any of those three go up for auction, you can buy them, okay? Those are the ones you are looking for, okay? First position, they the king of the castle. Boom, boom, boom. Now we got our second liens. We're going to say they're like if we got kings, I don't know, these going to be like the princes, okay? King has more power. These are the princes, okay? So, second liens look like HELOC. What's a HELOC? We talked about this yesterday. You buy a house, you got that first lien, $300,000, your big lump mortgage that you're paying. You've been in your house for a year and you look around and you're like, I do not like this living room. I want to do I need to add some razzle dazzle, right? So you go to the bank and you want to pull out some equity from your house, okay? HELOC, home equity line of credit. So you like, can I get $10,000? Let's say, can I get, $10,000. I want to fix up my living room, right? That's what people usually take HELOCs out for. Do some kind of construction, something like that, okay? So now you have a $10,000 second mortgage on your house, okay? Now keep in mind, HELOCs and first mortgages, two separate payments, right? You don't take out $10,000 and they just lump it in here. You pay one mortgage, you pay a monthly payment on this, and you pay a monthly payment on this, okay? HELOC, the second mortgage, just real quick, I digress, real quick, the payment is usually based on the interest rate. It's usually an adjustable rate loan, okay? So a lot of people, I keep saying this, will probably end up foreclosing on their HELOC, okay? And if they do, you don't want to buy this, okay? Because remember, this is the junior. We still have this $300,000 lien that we got when we bought the house. And then we took out this HELOC to remodel our kitchen. Now times get hard, banks start collapsing, unemployment go up. We still gonna pay this one. But this one, this $10,000 one, you know, if we got enough money, we might pay it. And if we don't have enough money, we just ain't gonna pay it. So if you stop paying this one, they will foreclose on this lien, right? And this will go up for auction. You don't want to buy this. Are y'all with me? Everybody with me, right? You don't want to buy this because this $300,000 one is still here. You buy the $10,000, you can't do anything with this property because the king is still sitting up here, right? Everybody with me? Is everybody with me so far on this title, this quick title lesson that I'm giving y'all real quick? Yes? Are y'all still here? I'm going to take it that y'all still here. Give me a thumbs up. Y'all with me on title. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for jumping in, Michael, who should start his own YouTube channel about bonds and treasury and inverted yield curves. But anyway, okay. So, HELOC. This is he a prince, right? We still got a king sitting up here. HELOCs are junior. Sometimes mechanics liens are junior, right? A mechanics lien. Somebody come do some repairs. Boom. You got the $10,000 HELOC, okay? But and you got them to come out, redo your whole living room. You got tray ceilings. They painted the trim, all that. And then you were like, you know what? I really don't like this. And then you didn't pay the contractor who did it, right? So now the contractor decides to go put a lien on your house, okay? So boom. We got a HELOC and we got a mechanics lien, okay? These are all on the same level. They're all junior liens. They don't got that much power though, right? Especially if you have some up here, right? So just pretend my arm is just staying up here. Just pretend it's holding strong up here. But it's just imagine. Because I don't have 6 arms. So we got HELOC, mechanics liens. What other kind of liens? Y'all, it's all child support liens, alimony liens, judgments. They're all down here, okay? Credit cards, if you don't pay your credit card, they will put a lien on your house and boom. But they're all down here, okay? They're not up here. They don't have that much power. Y'all follow me? Okay. So, keep in mind, at the auction, when people foreclose, they're just foreclosing on a lien, basically, okay? Regardless of what the lien is. Your primary mortgage, if it's Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they can foreclose, right? Because anybody who has a lien on your house just want to get paid. That's the best way I can say it. Anybody who has a lien wants to get paid. So if they foreclose on your HELOC, it's just the bank saying, hey, I'm trying to get paid. And they will auction this off and hope y'all buy it, right? Because they want to get paid. They want their $10,000 back. Now, if you buy this lien, all they're going to say is thank you. You don't have any ownership of that property, though. Understand that. Because it's still the primary mortgage is sitting out there. This does not trump this, even if you buy this, okay? And people are like, well, if you get the HELOC, you can't do nothing with it. Can you imagine if you have a $300,000 house and you are paying the mortgage, right? You're paying your mortgage each month, and you just happen to not pay your HELOC, right? You didn't pay it. And somebody knock on your door and says, so yeah, I just bought your HELOC at the auction for $10,000. So you want to move so I can have your house? What they gonna say? They're gonna be like, thanks for paying it. You don't have any ownership. They're current on their first mortgage. Y'all follow me? I came across a homeowner that almost paid off his house and got into an accident. The person he got into an accident lawyered up and they put a lien. Anybody will put a lien on your house. Anybody. I can go down there right now and put a lien because, y'all, I told y'all, a lady called me the other day in foreclosure, got foreclosure assistance, and they really scammed her. And the foreclosure assistant people put a lien on her house for $2,500. Anybody can put a lien on your house. And if they want it bad enough, they will try to foreclose on you. But it's just them trying to collect their money. That does not give you ownership to the house, right? Unless you buy one of the three kings, one of the primary mortgage, HOA, or taxes. You got to buy one of the 3 kings. You buy anybody down here, you buy one of the disciples, you're not having no ownership. Okay? That's how we explaining it. Attorney cannot put an accident lien on a home without a court order. Look, y'all better ask my dog Rex. He might know. Look, people, y'all, and I don't know how familiar you are with, y'all, no shade to wholesalers. Y'all know wholesalers will put a lien on your house if you don't close with them, right? I see that all the time. No shade to anybody who wholesales, none. All I'm saying is you can put a lien on a house. And you can foreclose on that lien, okay? That doesn't mean they get ownership of the house. That's why it's important, if you are buying a property at the auction, to know what lien you're buying. That's why title search is such a big deal to people. Because if you spend, I mean, some HELOCs are like $75,000, right? And you're like, ooh, here's a $300,000 house and the opening bid is $75,000. Y'all follow me? And you're like, that's a great deal. Not knowing if you drop off $75,000 on this HELOC, you can't do nothing with that property because it's still a $300,000 lien sitting out here in first position. Does that make sense to everybody? So that's why I always say, I don't care if your friend calls you and is like, they giving away houses for $4 at the courthouse. Look at the title, because you can buy the wrong lien, right? And not be able to do anything with that property. So, like I said, you got the junior ones. That's HELOC, mechanics lien, judgments. I've seen Chase Bank put a lien on a house and it go to auction, right? Like, that's a credit card, right? And if you don't know, you'll go bid on that credit card and don't have any ownership. So the point is, you got to look at title to see what lien you're purchasing before you go to auction. That's why it's so important. And like I said, so now keep in mind, now if the house is paid off free and clear, and you don't have any of the three kings sitting up here, and then maybe you do buy a HELOC, then you might be okay, right? But if you got one of the three kings sitting up here and you buy a HELOC, you can't do nothing with it. You can't do nothing with that house. So if you buy a tax deed, the opening bid has all the debt from the property, including the first mortgage. Yes, from what I understand, y'all be trying to hit me with the tax deed stuff. From what I understand, yes, because taxes they can foreclose on you for taxes. You know, if you don't pay your price. Yes. So, yes. And usually, like if you, at the auction, if you buy one of the three kings, it wipes the slate clear. Usually, okay? It usually does clear any of the other liens, right? I hope that makes sense to everybody. Like you buy the primary mortgage and any of the mechanics judgment liens, usually they will fall off after the foreclosure. And that is after I say sold, which is really the act of foreclosure. When I say sold, that usually clears the title. They usually announce the lien position being sold. Most of the time, all second position liens are wiped out. So I don't ever announce any of the lien positions. Now, I think maybe some of the auctions do, but I don't ever know, right? They just say, Ashley, here's your schedule, right? Here's all your properties that you have to auction off, right? This is literally all I get, right? They send the schedule, Ashley, boom, can you cover all of these? Yep, I got you. I have no idea if it's the lien. And all I read is the notice of sale when I'm at the auction. Okay, so cool. And I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? And we just talking about prop wire. Prop wire a lot of times will show you, prop wire will show you if there's a second lien sitting out on that house, right? So I'm always tell people, like, that's like a red flag at the auction. If you get to the auction and it's a great property, right? Great property. Opening bid is mind-blowing and nobody else is there to bid on it but you. I would take another look at that title, right? Especially if you're somewhere like Georgia or someplace where you know people will bid. If you are the only one bidding on a property and it's a great deal, I would just double check one more time to make sure that you're buying the right loan, right? Because, you know, it should. And I've seen it happen at the auction. Again, I don't know what lien I'm auctioning off, But I've seen seasoned investors like step back and let, you know, the new people or people who don't know come and bid. They'll let you bid on the second lien and not say anything to you. So you've got to do your due diligence on that. So I can go to courthouse to deed office to check. Absolutely. And if you can log in, where are you at, Jeremy? You said you were in Tennessee. So Johnson City, what is that? Because here in Shelby, so that's not mine. I know Nashville's county records and deeds. I think you got to pay to log in Nashville's county records and deeds. And keep in mind, when you look at, I don't want to confuse y'all, but when you're looking at that notice, right? The notice of sale, if that's what y'all are doing, or if you're going, like auction.com, will usually, sometimes they'll put like the title search down. If you scroll down on auction.com and show you what's on the title, they'll still say do your due diligence, but they'll kind of do a little title check for you if you scroll down. Sometimes they do. Check the taxes too. Check the taxes. Okay. What was I going to say? The public notice. Okay. What the attorney or the bank files to let you know that the property is going up for auction. That public notice, there's an instrument number on it. Okay. In that, so it'll be like the instrument number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in the writing, it'll be like, this person is being foreclosed on by Wells Fargo on a deed dated November 20th, 2022. Okay, that instrument number should correlate on the county and record deed. Okay, you'll see the instrument number and it'll show up and they should match. And you'll see if that's a first lien, a second lien, or something like that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But they should match. Public notice, title, the number should match, basically. And you can see what person it is. When you buy the first mortgage foreclosure, you still owe the past due taxes. You absolutely do. Or they might also include it on the foreclosure. Trustee sale, courthouse, taxes not included at all. You got to do your due diligence on that. And then after you buy the property, then you go and pay those taxes. Because now you own the house and now you're responsible for the taxes. Taxes are not included for me in the winning bid. They are not. So that's a part of your due diligence. Maybe they are somewhere else or like at the tax sale. But me, no, they are not. You got to check that. Anything else? Go to county records. Yeah, county records. Here in Maryland, they do. I think that's nice. If they tell you it's a second lien, that's nice. I mean, that is nice, like for y'all, but you know, for the lien holder, they're probably like, dang, don't announce that. I'm trying to get paid. You know what I mean? Because they have hired an attorney to foreclose on that lien so they can get paid. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. So if you announce, hey, it's a second lien, they know ain't nobody gonna bid on that, right? So, you know, but that's nice that they do it. I don't do it. I just don't know. And y'all. I'm not checking title on all these properties. Like before I auction them off. I don't know if they're vacant. I don't know if they're empty. I don't know if it's the second lien. Now, if I see something that says like Chase Bank, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. That's probably a second lien, right? You know, stuff like that. Shameless plug. My whole auction accelerator course teaches you how to read title. That's all I'm saying. Teaches you title checklist. The link is below. Coupon code is on it. I think for thank you is the coupon code. All I'm telling you is I teach you how to read title no matter where you are. But you do, you know, but there are some county records and deeds that charge you to go onto their site. Here in Shelby County, clearly they don't care about us, right? Because all our stuff is just open to the public. You can look at all, you can see if you on child support, alimony, foreclosure. You can look at all our stuff in Shelby County. They don't care. So, you know, divorce, all kinds of stuff. So, just know it depends on where you are. But look at the title, okay? You can get a great property at the auction, but you can also buy the wrong one, okay? So, 64 minutes. Now, I can talk. I can talk. But I enjoy this because I know y'all don't know. And I don't think anybody else is really telling y'all, right? They still saying, look in the newspaper. Right? So, and if you don't know where auctions are, you guys, It is true. Like, you can look in the newspaper. If they, I always show this paper. Here in Memphis, it's the daily news, right? And you're looking for public notices, like public records. And it will show you. So don't think you're going to look in the paper. And it's usually like a smaller paper, right? It's not like the New York Times or the LA Times. Here, it's the smaller publication, right? The Daily News. Nashville, it's Tennessee Ledger. TN Ledger is their smaller paper that posts the... So it's not all not true that it's in the paper. Y'all just don't know what to look for in the paper, right? Or you can go online and look for public notices. Put in your county. I live in Shelby County. Shelby County public notices. Maricopa County public notices. LA, wherever you are, right? Type in public notices, and you might have to dig a little bit. It might not just pop up immediately. You might have to click on a couple of things, but you should be able to find it, okay? So in the paper here, let me see if I can find. Okay, so it does have public notices, right? It'll say, look, I'm trying to show y'all all in the, y'all can't see. Y'all can't see that. Can y'all see right there? It says public notice, right? Look and see. Some places only post Mondays. Nashville posts on Fridays. You're welcome. Nashville posts their public notices every Friday. Okay? So if you're looking in the paper Monday through Thursday, don't get discouraged. You're looking on the wrong day. Okay? It's Friday. So that's how you find it. Put in your county name and put in public notices. Okay? And I mean, if you don't feel like doing all that, just go to auction.com. Right? Go to auction.com. Go to Realty Track, Realty Bid. Go to them, and then you can see when the auctions are. Go to an auction. Go to an auction. You do not have to bid. You do not have to buy a property. You can just go, right, and see. Maybe you can make friends with the auctioneer. They're probably not going to be as nice as I am. Probably not. But you can get more information on maybe where, because like with me, like my bidders who are here, I know them well. Like they text me on Fridays and like, what you got going today? Or, you know, stuff like that. So, your local line, but usually has all the smart. There you go. Come on, Keith Parker. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Keith. Thank you, KP. Thank you for throwing that out there. Because we forget that you can go to the library. Thank you. Come on, the Buckeye Farm. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, the auction accelerator. Absolutely. There's a code. Use code. Thank you. I'm adding a tax sale module to all the modules that I already gave you. So if you have the auction accelerator, give me a couple of days. I'm adding a whole tax sale piece to it so y'all can bid at the tax sales too. You know what I mean? So I literally poured my whole brain into that course, y'all. Whole brain. I teach you where to find them. I teach you where to find pre-foreclosures because, baby, that's what y'all want. To get to the people before they go to auction. I teach you how to read a title. Now you saw I went through a description, a boom, 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 boom. We went through a whole description, right? But in the course, I walk you through, like I pull up the county records and deeds. Like I said, the instrument number should match this. I'm showing you, right? I'm pointing out, this is what a first lien looks like. This is what a second lien. Look for MTG mortgage, WD warranty deed. Like I walk you through like 6 examples, different properties. Y'all, my whole brain. I teach you how to calculate repairs because you can't see the inside of the property, right? I teach you how to calculate repairs on the inside of a property. How to set your max bid. Property, yeah, everything is in that course. Thank you is the code. Thank you is the code. The mentorship is open. Y'all, let me just get all these out real quick. The mentorship is open because y'all are like, I didn't know what you didn't tell us. The mentorship is open, okay? I teach you how to contact pre-foreclosures, the people before they go to auction, right? This is not a wholesaling course. I do not teach you, I do not cold call, I don't door knock, right? But I do direct mail and I have other methods that I use that are not cold calling, but you talk to the homeowners, basically, right? So, We meet once a week. I teach you everything. It's very small. Works everywhere. I've had Detroit, New York, Atlanta, Houston, Chicago, everybody. Guy just signed up today from South Carolina. You know what I mean? I keep it super small so I can help you in your city, okay? If you don't want that, you can buy the foreclosure bundle, 30 letters, pick one, send them, boom. I think that's it. Property Post newsletter. I send out a newsletter twice a month because I'm not going to harass you and I'm not going to write a newsletter every week. Boom. It goes out in the morning. It's below. Sign up. It's free. Boom. Okay. That's everything. All the links are below. Okay. Back to what we were talking about. I saw my dog Rex said something. But the mentorship, you just get me, you know, helping you take over, right? I was trying to see if I missed something. Public records are public accessible in some places, my dog Rex. Some of them you have to pay for them. Nashville wants you to pay for them. Detroit, because I had my mentees in Detroit. Yeah, because I take care of you when you come in. So I was like paying for his public notices because I want him to find them. Like, and you can pay for like a day pass for $4 to pull all the public records. But you know, I paid the $4 and pulled all of them for like the past couple of months, right? But anyway, so that lets you know I really work with y'all. And you get a website and all that kind of stuff too. Okay, back to auctions. I can get off. Y'all, it's 70. I've been on here 70 minutes. I always say this, like the time of like The Big Short. In the time I've been on here, you could have watched The Big Short. Y'all know my 3 movie recommendations, right? The Big Short, 99 Homes, and The Inside Job. If you've been on here, you'd be like, Ashley, you've been told us this a million times. It's for the people who are new. It's for the new people, okay? The Big Short is a great movie. Most people have seen that. That's the most common 2008 crash movie, right? I love it though. The Big Short, 99 Homes is another good movie, but they use profanity, so do not watch it around your kids. Unless you use profanity around your kids like that. And I mean, they say like the F word. Not like the D word. They say the F word. But it's a really good movie. It's like about a real estate agent who was really just evil during the last crash. And putting people out like... And then The Inside Job. The Inside Job is a documentary about the last... Like, they interviewed the CEOs of the bank. Well, they didn't, because ain't none of them talking to anybody. But they interviewed the people involved during the last crash. And it just makes me upset. I've watched it like 3 times. But I feel like if you are in the real estate industry, especially if you hold a license, I've said this and I'll continue to say this. If the only, like most, I feel like the majority, 90% of people in the real estate industry have no idea how the real estate market even works. Let's just be completely honest about that. Like, no idea. Like, most people, and I'm a real estate agent, right? Like, I'm a real estate agent, and I feel like most real estate agents, no shade, but maybe a little, you know, all we know is, because they don't teach it in school, like, all we know is show houses, write contracts, take photo shoots, hold signs, collect commission checks. But 90% of people have no idea how the real estate market works. Like, you don't understand how when people get a loan or any of that kind of stuff. Y'all know, like, back in the day, banks used to, you know, lend you money, and then over time you pay them back, right? They give you a loan to buy a house. Over time, you pay them back each month, right? And it takes them a while to make money. That don't happen anymore, you guys. Y'all know this. As soon as you get a house, they sold your whole to somebody else, you know, and it's not even, and my dog Rex, he's always on here. He's absolutely right, you guys, right? It's not like actual money is going around. It's like pieces of paper. It's credit. It's like not even cash, right? Like, our whole financial system is propped up on credit and stuff. But I'm saying the majority of the real estate industry doesn't even understand how the chain of what's the word I'm looking for? Like the steps after you get keys to a house, right? You don't understand what that mortgage does, how many phases it goes through, how the market crashed in 2008. Most people have no idea how that works, right? So that's why I think I'm so passionate, or I get so upset when I see people like buy now, refinance later. I'm like, y'all don't even know what a refinance is. Most people don't, right? Like, do you even know the process to refinance? People can't refinance if they're maxed out on their credit cards, if they pay late. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'll get on my soapbox and get upset. You know what I mean? Like, and like when you put people in houses, I'll get on my soapbox. Y'all are like, Ashley, what about these 100% loans and you only got to put down 1%? I think they're trash, most of them, right? Like, those are the first people to lose their house. They are. These, and those were what you call subprime loans, right? But you don't, right? And every time I see a mortgage lender like come out with these new incentives for you to buy, I'm just like, that's some trash. Like, I swear, I'm literally like, every time I get one, I'm going to be like, that program is some trash, right? Like, but anyway, that's why, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Most people don't know. That's why I try to educate you. Watch the movies. Maybe that'll give you a better understanding of how all of this is intertwined, right? Why you need to like read maybe articles and not always trust what you see on the news, right? Because they will tell you anything on the news and be packing stuff up and selling stock and doing all kinds of stuff, right? Behind closed doors, and you have no idea because you're watching the news and everything's fine, right? So, you guys, it's been 76 minutes. It is 9:15. So on the East Coast, y'all, it's late, right? And it is a work week, and some people got to go to work in the morning. So I might be back tomorrow. I'm on this streak, right? I've been here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Monday. You know what? Let's just go and make it, keep the party going. I'm going to come back tomorrow. 5 days in a row, okay? 5 days in a row. I will be here tomorrow. We can talk about some more stuff. If you got something you want me to talk about, look, send it to me. Your agent, Ashley. Did everybody catch? I kill myself when I have a thought. Did y'all catch the conversation that I had with my foreclosure attorney? Y'all started watching did you? I started watching. If you watch it, you guys, the inside job will piss you TF off. Y'all know what TF stand for. It will piss you off, honestly. When you see how people, I'm sorry, William. William, you can go to sleep if you want to. William, you can go to bed. Just put the phone next to your head, and I'll just talk you to sleep, right? I'll just talk you to sleep. The inside job will piss you off, honestly. And the inside job will have you looking at the real estate market right now, very side-eye. Very, very side-eye. Like, you can't believe anything you see on the news. Understand that. The inside job is on, I think it's on HBO Max. It might be on Amazon Prime. I don't know. It's on one of those. Well, go to the bar then. Well, you can go to if I'm cutting into your clubbing time, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. Notes. Yes. Again, you guys, it's just, okay, but did y'all catch what I said about the foreclosure attorney, what she told me? That Pinnacle Bank is up next. That's all I'm saying. Yes, that's all it is. And making money and knowing they were wrong, right? They knew they were selling bad loans. They knew it was about to collapse, and they didn't care. Literally, 24 hours before the banks collapsed, it was still showing on the news that everything is good. That's when I watch the news, and they're like, these stocks are good. Like, I'm looking at JP Morgan and Wells Fargo and Citigroup, and I'm like, I believe y'all lying. Like, because you can lie, right? Who's to say you can't, when everybody's filling in their numbers and saying, okay, how are we doing? How is business? Just go on report that we're doing good. Report that business is good. Who's to say that they can't do that? Because nobody's checking people, right? I can write up something and say my stock is good, my business is doing great, and we could be in the overdraft. We could be negative, right? Who's to say? And that's exactly like what happened. Like they were still reporting, and then these credit rating agencies are paid to say that it's a good, y'all look, go watch the Inside Job. Go watch it. The dollar. Yes, it is. It's just you gotta. Yes, my dog Rex. Yes, Joy Rogers. Yes, William on vacation. Yes, go watch the Inside Job, and you might need to watch it twice. Watch it for understanding. Don't just watch it to watch it. Watch it for understanding, and you'll be pissed off by the time you stop watching it. But that was my point. That was my rant that real estate professionals need to do a better job of understanding how real estate works, right? Just, and not just, I'm not just saying that people just collect commission checks. I'm not saying that. But we do have a duty. You're supposed to know, right? I got a license. Like most real estate agents probably can't tell you what the mortgage rate is right now, right? But when you see the news and it's like mortgage rates just plunged. No, they didn't, you guys. Mortgage rates did not plunge. They didn't. Layoff is not, look, when unemployment starts rising, people getting laid off, that mean they don't have money, that mean they can't pay their mortgage. Just understand that. That's why, and I'm closing out right now, that's why none of us are going to buy flat screen TVs on Friday. Bam. I don't care if they are buy one, get one free. You're not buying flat screens on Friday. We are getting, you govern yourselves accordingly. You pay down your credit cards, you stack a little money. Even though my attorney was like, get your money out the banks. Y'all heard about my conversation with my foreclosure attorney, right? I said that earlier. So, get your credit right, pay down your credit cards, do what you're supposed to do. So when the window of opportunity opens, you can be ready. We can all be ready. Okay? So I'll be back mañana. I will be back tomorrow. It's 9:20. We got this. Sign up for the Property Pulse newsletter. I got a newsletter going out in the morning. So the link, all the links are down below, you guys. If y'all don't have any, layoff is never a good sign. Y'all saw 300 people. They said Citigroup, 300 managers. 300 managers. The middle class jobs, you guys. Those jobs where people like one person stay at home and take care of the kids and the other one is at work. Imagine losing that job. There go your whole life. On the week of Thanksgiving. Oh, I tell you. A license grants the holder to do a thing that would normally be considered illegal. A realtor just told me that houses are still going up and interest is going to stay. You know what I mean? And there are pockets. Let me say that. There are pockets where people are still overbidding. People still multiple offers. Houses are still flying off the market. There are pockets. But the majority of our country is doing price reductions. If you were on here last night, I named the top 10 cities with the most price reductions across the country. Indianapolis is number 1, right? Like, just be mindful. If you are buying, negotiate. That is what I would say. Make sure you can afford the payment, because once you sign that paper, baby, your realtor is not going to help you pay your note. That mortgage broker is not going to help you pay the note. Your appraiser, your home inspector, the builder that you're buying it from is not going to help you pay your note, right? So if you know you can't afford it on day 1, right? When you're sitting at the table and you sign, it's nothing wrong with being like, nope, can't do this. There's nothing wrong with saying that, because you're going to be the one responsible for it at the end of the day, okay? That's all I'm saying. I mean, everybody believes their own, what they believe. You know what I mean? I do not believe, I think interest rates are going to stay high, right? I think they're going to stay higher longer. I believe that. I don't know when a cut is coming, right? And I don't think you should buy a house anticipating rates getting cut, right? That's not the mindset you should go in. You need to go in being able to afford whatever you buy. You need to go in being able to afford it for the next 30 years because that's what you're signing for, right? So if they don't ever cut the interest rates, you still need to be able to afford your house and everything that comes with it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, you guys, okay, 85 minutes. I'm really logging off this time. I will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m., day 5. Don't worry, we ain't going 40 days and 40 nights because my name is not Jesus, okay? So, day 5 tomorrow will probably be the final night, maybe. If you got questions, youragentashley@gmail. I'm on Instagram, youragentashley. I'm on YouTube, youragentashley. So subscribe, all the places. All the links are below. The course, the mentorship, the newsletter, they're all below. So, if y'all don't have anything else that y'all want to ask me or tell me, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you vacation. William, you can go back to your vacation. Okay, you guys, I'm going to hang up unless y'all got something y'all want me to talk about. Yep, we good. All right, you guys, you hang up first. 1, 2, 3. Adios.